I just want to point out that if you put the two names of like our building groups together, you can get Midwest Cheesy Builder Studio.
Okay.
The most ambitious crossover event of our generation.
I sense a collaboration. Like, obviously, Caleb, you and I competed against each other in Brickworld 2019, but I think we need to like combine forces against Mark and Steven.
Oh, I'm so in. I'm in. We're gonna take them down.
Brickworld 2022, Mark and Steven, you're going down.
That's right, boys. See you there.
She wants more of this.
Thank you guys so much for coming on here. I know this has been a long time in the making. Of all the teams, we had probably the strongest connection going into this thing.
Hey, our eyes matched in the hall. We got that look like, I think that's a castle builder.
Like, you were the first person I saw. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Caleb!
We had no idea that we were going to be on the show together,
I know.
for the record, until we were down in Atlanta getting ready to film.
Philip and I had the original Lego Masters rivalry.
Yeah, OG, like
OG.
before Mark and Steven.
They're just nobodies, but here Philip and I are literally duking it out on the floor of the Chicago convention, and it was nasty.
I believe Maria had to separate us at one point. Is that correct?
I mean, it got heated.
So what's the story behind that, Caleb?
So I built a castle because I like castles, and then Philip, the other guy who likes castles, built a house. We were both nominated for a pretty awesome category. Yeah. I think it's you need a lot of brick to fare well in that category. Philip built this absolutely beautiful Montana dream home. It was big. It had the landscape around it. You had interior, yes.
Yep, interior, and then even some lighting.
And that was my one of the two things I did. I lit the inside of it.
Oh, okay.
And then I replicated some like greenery for it. I don't think I designed anything, but you were like, here, put these together and put them around.
It was my first attempt to get her into Lego.
Yeah, that was
okay. I was gonna ask that. Well, I feel like you're in on this rivalry now, which is fantastic.
The rivalry deepens. Yeah, well, it was funny because I remember we showed up. You know, we set up this dream home. It's epic. It's amazing. We're like, he's totally gonna clinch it this year. And then we like, we walk over. We're like,
There are times when you know you're done. That was one of them. I mean, but legitimately, like, I felt okay about it because your build was just so good.
It was a good fight. I mean, I love the dream home. It was. I mean, it's sand green. That's bold. That is bold because you're limiting yourself there with the palette pretty harshly, but you pulled it off.
It says the guy who built in. What was it? What was the primary color again on that one?
Dark orange.
Dark orange. Okay, yes. So like sand green, dark orange. Like which one has more? You know, like he has a little less parts. You know. That being said, the Montana Dream Home, that was the building that got us on the show.
That is correct.
Because of its size and because of like what they were kind of looking for.
I had shared that one on Instagram, and that was where Raph from casting was like, hey, this looks really great, would you be interested? And I showed it to Phil, and he was like,
this can't be real.
They reached out to us on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, this is a scam.
Lego people, I mean, maybe it's just the three of us, but like we're kind of untrusting, I think.
What breeds that in a Lego fan?
It's skeptical. I don't know. Like,
I know what it is. It's the people mixing Mega Blocks into the stuff at their garage sales.
We're just naturally suspicious. Yeah.
So, because I mean, the casting process, and I don't know how your take on it was, but for us, it was fantastic. We had such a great time. Like, even the first time we did it, and then for like when they contacted us back for season 2, like it was just a lot of fun. And honestly, the going for season 2 was probably more fun because at this point you had built for a little while, and we knew the whole process, so we just had like a load of fun with it.
Yeah. The first time was a bit more stressful because there were a lot of questions like, what's your building style? And I was like, whatever he tells me to build, you know, like my building style is sorting. So we were definitely a different team going into season 2 than we were into season 1.
Can you tell us about the training process gearing up for season 2?
Yeah, well, with season 1, getting ready for season 1, he was the builder, and I did things like sort, critique. This is very good at critiquing. I would replicate that sort of thing. Rewinding back to 2019 when we did the medieval wizard's tent, the potion shop. We did the potion shop. And seeing all that stuff come together, I realized how much I loved the whole idea of making Lego look like it's not Lego. That February, for whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to build a succulent. And so, because I love succulents. So the whole process kind of helped me to learn bricks, learn connections, learn how to improve upon what I was working on. So anyway, all of this is a very long-winded way of saying a lot of the process of getting ready for Lego Masters goes back to 2013 when we started going to Brick World, and I started seeing builds that people were creating, learning pieces by helping you sort. So that was a lot of it. And then, as we got closer to actually being on the show, by that time, we had together built quite a lot of projects.
Yeah, and then
projects together.
There was a lot of, like lockdown COVID time. So we spent a lot of time building, and we did a few of the Brickwork rituals together.
Yeah,
with some projects that we did specifically and gave ourselves like short deadlines in order to get that stuff done. Like we would turn stuff over in like
he would be like, oh yeah, so I agreed to do the Halloween themed Brick World in 2 weeks. And I was like, why would you do that? So that gave us a lot of chance to build together and kind of figure out what we were good at. We also learned the whole concept of trading off. Like he'd be working on an element and I'd be working on an element. We both get stuck and we just hand it over to the other person. It's like if you look at a word too many times, you look at the word and you're like, what is this word even? Like it's not spelled right? Like the more you look at it, the more you see the flaws, the more you just see the bricks inside of the build, right? And so this latest one we did, like I look at it and I'm like I don't like it. But he loves it and everybody else has really liked it. And I'm like, but so we just learned to encourage each other that way and be like, look, it looks good. Like stop obsessing.
That's good advice, honestly, because everyone got in that rut on Lego Masters. But at the end of the day, you made this build in like 10 hours under extreme pressure with no sleep and no food. That's a miracle. That's a beautiful piece of art.
It is a miracle. There are definitely times looking back on the things that we made, and first of all, I'm like, that looks better than I remember it. And then I'm like, how did we do that? My favorite episode was episode 5 with the hanging brick. And I think for me, the reason that was my favorite episode is because it truly was like a creative challenge. There were no requirements or restrictions. They gave us some suggestions, but it was literally like, just build something. And so it was really fun for me to be able to just kind of build something that we thought looked cool and had a cool story to it. And I love the way, like, I know the turtle, there were things that we would have done differently if we had had more time or whatever, but I really liked the way the finished product looked. And also we got the best compliment ever from the judges, and they said that we were playful with the brick. So
yeah, like that kind of made your day.
It's kind of a bucket list check, like a bucket list check item.
My favorite episode was the Make and Shake Challenge, because we had just come off of the explosion build and didn't get eliminated. So that was like, okay, so maybe there's some chance we can make it 2 more episodes. But then we have to build this like make and shake, and I'm like, for goodness sakes, like we're just not technical builders from like a Technic infrastructure like standpoint. And I like see all these people running, grabbing Technic, and I'm even grabbing Technic. I'm like, why am I grabbing Technic? I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what the proper scales are for Technic. And knowing that, like, we're seeing like people with Technic and like Mark and Steven are doing these plates on the side. You guys have tires? And I'm like, well, we're going to be bottom 2 this episode for sure. So,
oh my gosh, I thought we were going to go to maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah. So when we made it to 10 on that episode, like they show a cut of it on the show, but like the joy that you see out of like myself, I can speak of, and I think out of you as well, was such pure joy and happiness of the fact that we were not going to be eliminated and that our tower made it to 10, and it was still, to this day, it kind of blows my mind. And there's that famous line that we actually both said, I think yours ended up getting on TV, but it's like, ball joints, who knew? Like strung up like ball joint that acted like a kind of rigging between the top and bottom layers. Our goal, and I feel bad because somebody's got to be eliminated first, but our goal was to not get eliminated first. Mm-hmm. And like, making it past the first episode or let's say second episode in this case, was kind of a dream. And then from then on out, the thought was everything else was gravy, because we knew we show up and there was teams again, like you and Jacob and Mark and Steven, and then like having known Moto and the stuff that he would do. Man, there's a lot of talented people on season 2 for sure. Yeah, again, it's just a blessing to have even been on the show and just having to be hang out with like 22 other people that we like are now like friends. So
yeah, I love your humility, guys, because you are wonderful builders. Like you literally inspired me year after year at Brickworld. I can't stress that enough. That's real.
You too, man.
It's great to have, you know, you guys who are the cast parents. And I actually have this I'm keeping this forever. You know, like getting this the day after you guys went home was really special to me. We felt the love, you know. Maria was always there with the mom hug when I needed the mom hug.
I was happy to fill that role.
You guys brought a lot of positive energy to the show, and you know, it was never the same without you guys. I didn't go to Mark for the mom hug.
He'd probably give you like the brother body slam or something.
Yeah. No, there were no dad jokes, just Will's jokes, and it was good.
You know, when we were getting ready to go to the show, we kind of talked about like, what did we want to do while we were there? What were our goals? How did we want to be presented? And our primary goal was to go in and just be positive and uplifting, and just be like that like support for people if they needed it. And it was really nice to be able to fulfill that role. There was a lot of stress. People weren't getting enough hugs. So we loved being able to be that support for people.
Thank you guys for talking with me today. It was awesome.
Always happy to talk.
Glad we could make it happen after so much planning. And I'm going to be seeing you guys in Brickworld Milwaukee, which is
so exciting.
And when is that?
That is October 23rd and 24th. Yes. So,
in Milwaukee.
So excited.
And like this fall, it's coming up pretty quick. So we're pretty pumped.
It's going to kind of be the best because the best people are all going to be there. All 3 of us, maybe even my brother.
Yeah. Okay. Do we need to like send him like a very nice email asking him to come?
Threats will do too.
Okay. Or threats. Or threats. Or threats.
Okay. This Jacob, this is your official invitation / warning to come to Brickworld, Milwaukee.
I'm going to drag you there no matter what.
Be there or be a brick.
Square brick.
A mega block. Take
be
that.
Be there or be a mega block.